Falcon fan, this your boy Ricondo coming back at you with another video. So today we're going to talk about the Falcons offseason so far. We'll get into some cap space. We're going to talk about some things they probably still need to address. Then last but not least, we're going to talk about our quarterback one, what it looked like going into the Falcons offseason program. So guys, if you have not already, go ahead and please subscribe to the channel. Please hit the notification bell so you guys know when I drop another video. Please hit the like button so I know you guys like to hear what I talk about. Then please share my video throughout the YouTube universe so more people can come in and hear me talk about these Atlanta Falcons. About 2,000 away from subscriptions away from 2,000. About 15. Sorry about that. About 15 subscribers away from being 2,000. So like I said, guys, go out and share this video with other Falcon fans. Let them know to come in so we can come in and discuss our Atlanta Falcons. So guys, let's get right into it. Of course, the Falcons been really busy this offseason. Unlike other off seasons, the Atlanta Falcons definitely was busy right at the beginning, and then it kind of slowed down for us. Everybody getting patient, checking their phones, seeing if another signing is done, another signing is done. Been quiet for a couple of days. However, the Atlanta Falcons did go in today and sign Tay Davis, a linebacker out of the Cleveland Browns. Think this is more of a signing for special teams. Have not played in many games, but has been a real contributor to the special teams. So this is another signing that's under the radar that's going to come in. You look at guys like Mike Ford, look at the guys like Cardell Hodge last year, big special team contributors on this team. Special teams is important, so bringing the guy in like Tay Davis in, I think is going to contribute and could definitely come in and fill in for some spot linebacker minutes to go in that linebacker room with the newest signed Caden Ellis, Michael Walker, Troy Anderson, and just not adding Tay Davis to that linebacker room. Of course, you got Darren Etrich that's still out there. We got him to a futures contract. Nate Landman as well, another guy in that linebacker room. So we do have some young guys out there, some undrafted guys. But this is another good signing for the Atlanta Falcons. Don't know the numbers yet. That's one of the things that we're still behind on the cap space. But I think this is a good signing. Like I said, special teams is important. Also, word out that Mike Hughes, cornerback from 3 different teams, Minnesota, KC, last team was with the Detroit Lions. He was drafted with the Minnesota Vikings, played there for 3 years. Significant thing about this, Jerry Gray was the defensive back coach at the time when he was drafted. So some familiarity there. That's one of the things that you like to see because Jerry Gray know exactly what a guy like Mike Hughes can actually do for the Atlanta Falcons. I'm anticipating if he do come, he'll probably be in that slot going up against another guy that we got here, D. Alford, that actually had a great first season, undrafted guy that came in and really made his stride. So we don't know the word on Mike Hughes, but he did visit Atlanta Falcons today. So guys, the question is, to start off right, we're going to give the Atlanta Falcons a grade on the offseason so far. And believe it or not, I'm not going to give I'm going to give it an incomplete. Right? I love all the moves they have made. But the reason I'm getting incomplete because I still think they have some more things that they need to do before going into the draft. Like I said, we don't know the salary cap as of right now. Looking at over the cap, looking at Spotrac, it's still showing about $34 million. But Jesse Bates and Caden Ellis and now Tay Davis contract is not adding into that. So we don't know what their cap number is going to be for this year. So we're not 100% sure what the actual how much cap space they have left. They know, right? But we don't know. But I'm pretty sure they got enough to go out and address some of these other, problem areas that I feel that they have areas. One area in particular is at the receiver position. They got a young receiver core already. I mean, they haven't brought back Olumide Kids. I would think that'd be something that they probably might end up doing. Jared Barnhart is another guy that's under contract that they got. Of course, you got Drake London, but their receiver room is really, really thin. It's not a whole lot of big time receivers that they can actually bring in the free agent market, but they can. It's still some guys out there that potentially could definitely help this team. So that's one of the positions they really need to look at and try to boost up before the draft is the wide receiver position. Also, the left guard position. We haven't heard anything about bringing back Elijah Wilkins. I think they had a guy in today who actually signed with the Jets. Colin came in for a visit, but he ended up signing with the New York Jets, so we missed out on that. But I think the guard position is definitely something they need to address. Of course, you still got Matt Hennessy that definitely probably could move there. Of course, Jalen Mayfield, the young guy from a couple of drafts ago that really struggled his first season, did not play last season. So they got linemen on the team. Of course, you got Justin Schaefer, who they drafted last year, who's actually a guy that they brought back as well. So they got offensive linemen, but I think if you want to make sure you solidify that offensive line spot, you need to bring in a veteran guard to bring in to solidify. Maybe they might something they could look at in the draft at the number 8 position. I know most of us would not like that, going out and getting an offensive guard or offensive tackle at that number 8 position. But it could be one of their plans that they could be considering. So we really don't know about, but those are two specific spots that I'm really looking at on offensive side of the ball. Defensive side of the ball, I know everybody really want to go out and get a pass rusher, but I really believe that the Atlanta Falcons got to start to develop some of their young guys, right? They just drafted 2 pass rushers in the draft last year. No, they did not hit the ground running and come up with a whole bunch of sacks. But if you look at the potential from a guy like D'Angelo Malone and Armor Ebiketie, you can see the potential there. You want what you want. Hopefully, guys do to have that jump from year 1 to year 2. All right, they brought back Lorenzo Carter to add to their room. So I'm not 100% sure that they would actually go out and bring in a veteran pass rusher. Would definitely help, but I'm not sure that's their plan. Like I said, they might want to see what the guys they have already here, see what kind of development they can have. See, can they have that jump from year 1 to year 2? There are some pass rushers out there they definitely could bring in to help bolster the pass rush. Or, once again, they could actually go out in the draft and get another rookie pass rusher. So they have all the options open to do it, but we don't know what route they're going. But I think that's another position they do need to solidify is the pass rush position. And then, like I said, the slot corner position. Like I said, they're talking to Mike Hughes right now. Today, maybe he's the guy. We don't know, but definitely need to look at bringing another corner back in as well to go along with the much improved secondary we got with guys like Jesse Bates. We know AJ Terrell doing his thing. Richie Grant really improved in his second year. And then Casey Hayward coming back off injury, a solid pro. As long as he can stay healthy, I think the secondary is really, really going to be good this year. What I really like about this draft class, we actually heard from those guys yesterday. They made it official for all the guys on the first few days. And what I liked the most was their confidence. The confidence for these guys was really, really high. And what really stood out the most is the relationships, especially from guys like David Amayada and Caden Ellis. Both of those guys really had a good relationship with Ron Nelson, and they like the direction he potentially can take this team. Of course, all the experience with the New Orleans Aints, but at the same time, we know how good the New Orleans Aints defense was over the last 6 years since Ron Nelson been there. So, especially David Onyemata, he was really, really excited to play with a guy like Grady Jarrett because he know what Grady Jarrett brings to the table. Now they'll have 2 guys right in that spot that definitely have to worry about in the running game and in the passing game. And then I don't want to forget about Taquan Graham, because I think Taquan Graham actually played really, really solid before he went down last year as well. So that 3-headed monster between Grady Jarrett, David Onyemata, and Taquan Graham, I think could really, really be special this year to be able to create penetration with the passing game and stop the run game, which is, in my opinion, we got to be able to do better to try to create those third and longs with the front four. So Caden Ellis, I think he's just scratching the surface how good he actually can be. Just getting his opportunity last year, and I mean, he took every advantage of it. If you just go out and look at the things he did, you love his versatility. Mentioned he brushed from pretty much all over the field, from the defensive end position, from the inside linebacker position, from the actually out, dropping back as well. So he has so much potential that's still there. And like I said, we only got to see him actually just hit the surface because he only started getting his first chance at it this past season. So I love that signing, and definitely going to see how he's going to progress in his offense alongside a guy like Troy Anderson, who we also hope take another jump as well. And then we talk about Jesse Bates. I think Jesse Bates is just scratching the surface as well. Been in the league a while, but he's only 26 years old. He's a natural ball hawk. This guy is definitely a playmaker that we definitely need in the secondary. And I really believe that he's going to be the leader in the back of that secondary. He can get guys in the right position. So now you have a leader, potentially have a leader in the front and in the back. And if we can have one of these linebackers step up and be the leader in the middle, we'll have leaders throughout the defense. That's what you need. Like I said, I know for the Falcons to really be good, if they can go out and get a playmaker in the secondary, and I think Jesse Bates is just that. Like I said, his read and react. Don't have any wasted motions on the football field. Everything is targeted to going out and getting the ball, stop ball, and you have to love that. Seems like no hesitation. He know what he's seeing, and he's firing to the ball. You have to like that. Same thing we seen for a guy like Richie Grant. His improvement. Hopefully he can take another jump this year as well. And we always say about AJ Terrell, his potential just to be one of the best cornerbacks in the league is still there. And at the end of the day, Casey Hayward can stay healthy. Of course, he's a savvy veteran that's been in the league a long time and has really played well. So this secondary is going to be good. But guys, those signings, it's really, especially on the defensive side of the ball, is what I really love about the signing so far. And I think the biggest underrated signing is what Jonnu Smith is actually going to be able to. Jonnu Smith is going to actually be able to bring to the table. If you go back and look at how Arthur Smith utilized him with the Tennessee Titans, he's just can pretty much do it all. A lot of screen plays, actually taking the ball out the backfield. Is explosive enough that he shows. So I know I just talked about not having a receiver, number 2 receiver, but a guy like Jonnu Smith is definitely going to be able to help that passing game, and it's going to be to a point where the opposing defense going to have mismatches all over the field. They're not going to know what's going on because guys got the explosive of a guy like Kyle Pitts. Drake London is only going to get better, but then also you tie in the ability to run the ball, especially like we was able to run it last year. I think it's really going to be exciting. So I think that's probably one of the most underrated moves they made this offseason, is bringing in a guy like Jonnu Smith to help create more weapons for who he's about to get into right now. Our number 1 quarterback, Desmond Ridder. So guys, let me know what you think so far. Like I said, for me, it's incomplete because I really feel they can clean up some more holes. But at the same time, I like every move they have made. And you just got to see what they're going to do next before the draft. All right, so let's get into the reason I really want to be here today. And let's talk about quarterback 1. We also heard from Taylor Heineke. And you love the way his maturity, the way he's going to come in, is definitely going to be a locker room guy. He's definitely really going to be able to help the young Desmond Ridder out. Just what you want from a backcourt quarterback, to come in and be that leader in the quarterback room, to help a young quarterback out in the league. Every young quarterback needs somebody to come in and understand that their role, to come in and help this guy grow. He knows he's a true traditional backcourt quarterback. He also know if he have to, he can come in and play if necessary. That's the kind of backcourt quarterback you want. And it looked like the Atlanta Falcons got exactly what they need. And which brings us to young Desmond Ridder. And the question I have, so many people have so much hesitation about Desmond Ridder, and what really is the difference between a guy like Desmond Ridder and Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett was picked in the first round, but that's probably the only difference. He was a rookie. He had opportunity to play more games than Desmond Ridder was able to play last year, but he played just like a rookie, like you would expect a rookie to play, and the Pittsburgh Steelers is content to go along with him, and hopefully he can be the future. And I'm really not understanding why a lot of us Falcon fans can't give Desmond Ridder that same opportunity. Right? I understand that he had a chance to go out and make a splash move at the quarterback position, but as we always said, that Atlanta Falcons is not just a quarterback away. So going out and getting a guy like the Lamar Jackson would really probably set us back more than it would help. Yes, we would have had our franchise quarterback that we know of, but what I'm saying, guys, maybe we already have that guy. We don't know, but we have to let him get an opportunity, and I think this is the right move by the front office and the coaching staff, is to let Desmond Ridder show us what he got this season. Now, it is, at the end of the day, it is going to be up to Desmond Ridder. He got to go out there. He can play, but I believe that he's going to be put in the best position possible by how this team is being built to have him have the most success he can actually have. Right? But if we go back and look at Desmond Ridder, 4 games that he played, right? You can see the progression. His first game probably was his worst game. His first start, in the NFL as a starter in the regular season, right? And he played the New Orleans Saints, so we just talked about how good that defense really was. That was his worst start, right? He had only 50% completion, only threw for like 97 yards. It was a really tough game for him. But if you recall that game, we actually still had a chance to win that game. If Drake London does not fumble that ball, we don't know what could have happened in that game. So even though Desmond Ridder did not play well in his first game ever on the road against our rival, we still had a chance to win that game. The second game, he actually, against the Baltimore Ravens, was definitely another tough defense to go against. But as you can see, his pass completion went up again, went up to 66.7, which is showing progression that from one week to the next week, he's able to get, improve in some of the things that he was doing wrong. That's only what's going to happen with young quarterbacks. They're going to have to get play time, right? The third game went up to 73.1. So each game, he's starting to get better and better. This was his best game that he had in the 4-game span. He actually had a quarterback rating of 100.2. So you go back and look at that Cardinals game, the Arizona Cardinals game, and you would say yes, you can actually see where he actually improved. Then the last game against the Bucks, his completion went back down to 63.1, but that's, you can still see the progressions that he made in that game. So what I'm saying is, each game he got better. That's where you can see the potential in a guy like Desmond Ridder. The league average for a completion rating in the season for last year is by like 69. So he's under that, but the highest guy at the time was Geno Smith last season. So what I'm saying is you have opportunity to see the progression and see Desmond Ritter improve, right? We have to get out the idea of because a guy was not drafted in the first round that he can't make it. We know this because one guy that we call the GOAT, he was not drafted in the first round, right? Jerry Rice was not drafted in the first round. So you don't have to be a first round quarterback to actually succeed. Go look at Zach Wilson, who was the number 2 overall pick a couple of seasons ago, and the Jets are about to trade for a 39-year-old quarterback in Aaron Rodgers because they do not believe in their quarterback they just drafted 2 years ago. So you don't have to be a first round pick for you to actually be successful in this league at the quarterback position. I think what you need is you have to have the right environment. You have to have somebody to believe in you, and you got to have the pieces around you to succeed. You look at a guy like Justin Fields, first 2 seasons, 2 different offensive coordinators, no offensive line to help, and he struggled, right? You look at Trevor Lawrence, his first season, just a mess of a thing going down there with Urban Meyer. Come in this next season, get a new head coach, and you can see the progression that he jumped from year 1 to year 2. So I think the Desmond Ritter is in a stable, solid situation where he actually can grow. And like I said, the Atlanta Falcons are putting the right pieces around him to help him be successful. Got a solid running game where he don't have to throw the ball all over the field. He have the weapons to actually be able to distribute the ball to. We just talked about John Smith bringing him in, Drake London. We already know about Kyle Pitts. Definitely still need to add something to that room. We talked about that, but you see the how the Atlanta Falcons are trying to put pieces around the young quarterback for him to be successful. He don't have to go out and do it all by himself. He have a solid team around him, and that's what the Atlanta Falcons trying to do. So I love the decision by this team to go ahead and make Desmond Ritter quarterback 1. Now, like I said, at the end of the day, it's up to Desmond Ritter. I think he's going to have the opportunity to show what he could do. The situation is going to be perfect. Well, nothing never perfect, but it's going to be good enough for him to show can he be the next franchise quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons. All right, we don't want to be one of those teams, i.e. the New York Jets, been looking for a quarterback for years, right? The Cleveland Browns look for quarterback for a year. We don't want to be one of those teams. Hopefully, this young man can come out and show that he can be what we're looking for. One thing we can say already, that you love his leadership. You love that he's going to work. And he has shown his poise. Most of the plays that was really, really impressive for Desmond Ritter last year was on 3rd and 4th down. The way he was able to sit in the pocket and make good throws to keep the chains moving. So you already see that. And what you really like about Desmond Ritter, how much football he has already played. So I just think the speed of the NFL is what he needs this year. Hopefully, it won't take him too long because we still want to win games. We don't want to have him, trying to learn and we're not playing well. That's why you put the running game there. That's why you create the defense so he won't have to do it all, and he could grow at the same time while we win. So, guys, let me know what you think about, first of all, the offseason so far. Do you want to give it a grade? Or are you like me, saying it's incomplete? Let me know what you think about all the signings and how they're potentially going to be able to help this team grow. And then last but not least, our quarterback 1. What do you think about Desmond Ritter? And do you think he's going to have the opportunity to be successful? Do you think they're going to put enough pieces around him to do his thing? So that's all I got. This is your boy Ricondo coming back at you with another video. Peace.